Carl, congratulations on signing for Melbourne Victory. Yeah, what does it mean to you? How do you feel about it?
Probably the best word to describe it is excited. I'm genuinely excited to be coming back here. Melbourne was always going to be my home in Australia, and you know, it worked out perfectly. So I'm very excited to start the season. Even though the season's just finished, looking forward to getting back into it and getting into training with the boys.
What do you know about Melbourne Victory from watching them from afar over the the past 10 years or so?
I know that they're a successful club, and that aim to be the most successful in Australia, and that was important for me in my decision to come home to Australia. I've always been not a part of, maybe not the biggest team, but teams with important objectives, and that's what I like about Melbourne. They were the best club in Australia. It's the place to be in Australia, and I'm very happy to be here.
So have you already got thoughts about what you want to achieve with the club while you're here?
I want to be very successful here, of course. I'm going to be signing for 3 years, so just work on that. I mean, but the way I've worked in the previous is to go game by game. If you look too far ahead, then you start thinking about, oh, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. You lose focus of what's in front of you. So you just got to focus on that first game and getting the points.
Do you know, or you would have played with or alongside a few of the players that are already here, maybe Nathan Coe, Mark Milligan and what?
Yeah, I know them all well. Met them all when I was younger, and Archie later on in life, so know them all well, and I know them all as guys as well off the pitch, and they've all spoken very highly about the club and the change room, which is an important factor in football.
And so you mentioned obviously that Melbourne was going to be a home anyway you're looking at. Is that family connection?
My wife's from Melbourne, so she followed me around all these years, so we thought, why not stay there? Really, I was obliged to come back here, that's the truth. But no, very excited. I tell you, it was when Vincenzo Grella told me about the move, I was very excited, and couldn't wait for it to happen. As a matter of fact, I flew back straight away as soon as the season finished to be here to get everything done. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Is there much chatter among the overseas-based Socceroos about the A-League, and what are the thoughts of the guys who have had careers overseas but don't quite know the ins and outs of the A-League?
Look, I can only speak of what I know. I mean, I keep in contact with Brett Holman very closely, and I can tell he was just as excited as I was about the prospects of a move to Melbourne for me. But obviously there's definitely a buzz about it. I mean, my intention was always to come back to the A-League. I always wanted to contribute to football in Australia, and not in the later stages of my career when maybe I was winding down. I wanted to give something, at a good time in my career. So I'm 29 years old, and I feel I've got a lot to give, and but I'm one of those guys that you can't talk too much. You got to prove yourself on the pitch. So
you look at the current squad, the Socceroos squad in Brazil, and pretty much all of those guys have spent time in the A-League, and that's probably something a few years ago that wasn't a possibility. But does that say a lot about where the league is and how far it's come since it started?
It definitely says something about where the league is. Yeah, it is definitely is growing. There's no question about it. And the Socceroos generational change, I think, was a right move, a move that had to be taken. Even though I'm very, a bit upset for a few of the older players, the more experienced players who paved the way for us, who missed out. But I mean, that's football, and we all know that. So these things happen. But yeah, so when you change something, you've got to change everything, and I think they've gone the right way about it, and I'll be watching their games very closely, so it'll be exciting to see them play.
Carl, I know I speak on behalf of every Melbourne Victory fan when I say welcome to the club.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.